Greetings, Herb Mentor. This is Rosalie and Xavier de la Forêt, and we are going all out for you folks today as we are standing right in the middle of a cattail swamp, prepared to show you all of the many uses of this incredible plant. So cattail is commonly referred to as the supermarket of wild foods, and we're going to give you a several-part series showing you how to harvest cattail at its various stages and what to do with it once you've harvested it. So here's Xavier. Take it away.
Hi. So yeah, cattail can be used at any time of year, and today we're going to show you how to harvest the shoots, and we'll cover also the roots and the pollen and kind of the female parts. Kind of look like corn on the cob. The first thing to really know about cattail is that their main role is in an ecosystem, besides providing a lot of cover for various birds with nests in them, is that they absorb toxins from the water, and in so doing they just filter out the bad stuff and keep water relatively clean. The bad thing for us though is that the toxins stay inside the plant, and so you really have to be careful of where you gather the cattail. You don't want to gather them from the roadsides or anywhere where there's any kind of pollutants in the water, because the cattail will absorb that and then you will eat it, and so that's not a good idea. So here we want a really clean pond right next to the river. We feel pretty good about it, and so we're going to harvest from here. The second thing to pay attention to is that there's a lookalike to cattail, which is water iris. And water iris grows in exactly the same kind of ecosystem as cattail, mainly around ponds and stuff. And so you really have to make sure of what you're gathering, because water iris is toxic if you eat it. And I'll just get a shoot here from the ground of the cattail. I'm just going pretty much all the way down to the root and just pulling on it. And it breaks off really cleanly at the root. And so the main way to identify cattail is that the stalk is round, and each leaf is wrapped around the stalk. And so that's a really easy thing to see. Whereas in irises, their stalk, if you can call that a stalk, is flat, and all the leaves fold out flat, as if you were a fan, like a fan. And so that's kind of what you have to remember. Cattail is round, leaves around the stalk, and water iris flat, folded out as a fan. And so yeah, the shoots are really good. That's kind of the part that you consume in the early spring. And we'll show you later on how to cook it. You kind of want to steam it or stir fry it a little bit, because you're never sure of what kind of bacteria can be in the water. And so you don't want any kind of funky thing, in the cattail because of the water. But just to show you real quick now, is that the outside is pretty foamy, and that's not edible. And it's not that it's toxic or anything, it just tastes like foam. And let me see if I can open it up and show you the different parts. So you can see the outside foamy stuff. It kind of has big cells, big spongy cells on the outside, and that's used to insulate the cattail and also kind of bring up the water up to the leaf. But so you're not going to eat that. What you're going to eat is more the greener one, is the less foamy part in the center. And so you can discard all the outside. And I don't know, if it shows really well in the video, but if you try to eat it, it'll be pretty obvious what's the foamy stuff and what's not the foamy stuff. And so that's kind of the center of it. And you can eat it, about all the way to when the leaf become really leafy. And again, there's nothing toxic about it, but it doesn't really become edible or palatable once you go up to that level. And so that's pretty much the first 5 or 6 inches that you can really eat, and they're really nice. Yeah, and so in the spring, when you gather the cattail shoots, it's better to go for the younger ones. When you go, for the older ones, the edible part is going to be, it's going to be bigger at the base, of course, but it's going to stop a lot earlier. So, on the young ones, you can eat the first 5 or 6 inches. For the older ones, you would see that, if you ate the top 2 inches, that's about all you would get. So it's better to go with the young ones and kind of let the old ones go to seed and propagate themselves. So now we'll just go home and cook those up.